It's time to take a look at the children of the corn. Welcome to another Aurorian experience video where I give my take on the children who always got something smart to say. Keating. First, some info about them. Keating is a 5-star thunder support unit hailed from Lumopolis. Their active skill, quadruple taunting, generates a clone at any tile which argos enemies within 3 surrounding clusters and inflicts slow on enemies with 5 stacks of marks for 2 rounds. Their chain combo, heckling mob. At 5 tiles, it deals 120% damage to 3 enemies within 3 surrounding clusters and inflicts 1 stack of laughter mark up to 8 stacks. Each stack increases chain combo damage by 5%. At 9 tiles, the damage deals 140% while inflicting 2 stacks of laughter marks. And at 12 tiles, the damage deals 155% while inflicting 3 stacks. Their equipment, Scroll of Chanting. Killing enemies with laughter marks inflicts 1 additional stack to all remaining enemies. Each mark increases Thunder Aurorian's normal attack damage by 1.8%. I'm telling you, man, it's like these kids wake up and choose violence every day because they're always dissing you one way or another. Honestly though, Keating is kind of a weird unit from what I've experienced. I mean, first comes with their active skill. You choose a tile to send a clone that will drag enemies towards it and adds a slow debuff on them. And for those that don't know what this does, it reduces the number of tiles the enemy can move by half. So if an enemy normally moves 4 tiles, the debuff will make them only move 2. And in order to place this on enemies, they need laughter marks, to which you place using your chain combo. And each chain combo rank allows you to place 1, 2, 3 marks respectively. Good thing about this is the chain combo has a range of 3 surrounding clusters, so you're able to keep a safe distance and both apply marks and do some damage. To which stat-wise, Keating is just about in the middle ground among 5 stars, barely hitting over the 3,000 mark at max. One other thing about the laughter marks that plays into the support role is their equipment skill. At max level, it boosts Thunder units' normal attacks by 1.8% each mark. Overall, Keating playstyle revolves around placing laughter marks using their chain combo, in which they use to take advantage with their active and equipment skill. And going back to their active skill, it gets 2 upgrades through breakthroughs. At breakthrough 2, instead of inflicting slow on enemies with 5 stacks, it lowers it to 4 stacks and adds the added effect of inflicting paralysis on those with 6. And at 5, the skill affects all enemies instead of those within 3 clusters. If I'm being honest here, Keating will be around the middle when it comes to the placements of support units. They're not the worst, but definitely not the best either. If anything, what holds them back is their active skill, even with both upgrades, which doesn't necessarily make much of a difference. After all, slow is pretty much the worst debuff in the game, as at times it's not really even noticeable. Neither is paralysis when unlocking breakthrough 2. Had it been a stun instead, which prevents enemies from moving, then they would have had a better impression. And in the case of breakthrough 5, going from 3 clusters to all enemies, again, not much of a noticeable difference, considering 3 clusters can pretty much take up majority of the field itself. So outside of bad positioning and those who are immune to debuffs, you're not going to have much trouble hitting enemies with the active. The equipment skill on the other hand isn't so bad, giving a boost to Thunder units' normal attacks for each mark by 1.8%. 1.8 doesn't seem much itself, but when you take into consideration that they stack up, it's a pretty nice boost for your Thunder units. And laughter marks are somewhat easy to place on enemies, at least when you're able to get the chain combo off. The starting mark at 5 is a bit on the long end within the game, but with a wide 3 cluster range with a pretty decent attack stack they have, pretty worth it if you ask me. However, you do need to take into consideration that their active skill has a 4-turn cooldown. A pretty long cooldown if you ask me, especially for a skill that they have. All in all, Keating is pretty okay for a support unit. They may not do anything crazy, but they're still able to play a part on your team. Nor do you need to rely on getting the breakthrough since they really can't change much. So in the end, Keating is still passable for a playable unit. Long cooldown and pretty neat active skill, but a very useful equipment skill. But what do y'all think? Am I on point or did I get it wrong? I'd love to hear y'all opinion and recommend any units you want me to do next. Until next time.